Good morning. We will begin our service with the ringing of the temple bell. At this time, please silence your cell phones and listen quietly as the sounding of the concho is an invitation to settle our hearts and minds as we prepare to receive the Dharma. Thank you.
Namandas, 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 Namandas.
Aloha. Thank you for attending today's Dharma Family Service. I am Kenji Nishihara and I will serve as your MC. Today's service will be officiated by Minister's Assistant Miss Linda Nagai. Reverend Blaine is serving as a guest speaker on Kauai. Assisting at the temple with technical support is the Zoom crew of Alan Matsumoto, Lynn Katayama, and Wendy Terada. Corian Chong is our organist, and Betty Takioka will lead the singing. Please rise and let us start the service with Vandana and T. Sarana. Please chant both the Pali and English parts together with Miss Linda. Those of you on Zoom, please mute your mic.
Namandavs, 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 namandavs.
Please remain standing. Miss Linda will now share an aspiration.
Please join me in Gasho as I read the lines from the book, or some lines from the book, Zen Happiness. We are born again with each new day. Words both true and kind can change the world. Be someone you want to be around. What we do now is what matters most. Be kind to yourself. Whatever you do today, let it be enough. 3 things cannot remain hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. You, as much as anyone in the universe, deserve your love and respect. May all beings have happy minds. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavs, namandavs, namandavs.
Please be seated. It is now time for the offering of incense. We invite all Sangha members in attendance to please come up and offer incense if you wish, starting with the front rows and moving towards the back. us observe a moment of silent meditation.
Doves, Namandoves, 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 Namandoves.
Miss Linda will now lead us in chanting Gasho to Amida. Words can be found on the laminated handouts and on the back of the pews and on the screen.
Gasho to Amida, composed by the Reverend Kenyu Chuji. Gasho to Amida is a hymn that praises the Buddha of infinite light and life and celebrates the activity of great compassion, which sustains our lives. This hymn reminds us that we should humbly approach life with palms pressed together in reverence, gratitude, and joy. We chant these words so that we may hear the Dharma and awaken to the virtues of the Buddha. May our voices together express our profound gratitude and appreciation for the Buddha's great benevolence. Gasho to Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I recite Amida's name with deep joy and gratitude. I gasho to Amida. Trees and grasses and flowers all grow in great compassion. This light shines throughout the world. I gasho to Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seed sprout new flowers. This is a truth unchanging. I gasho to Amida. Springtime brings the happy birds. Their songs all praise Amida. I join them in Nembutsu. I gasho to Amida. When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling Namo Amida Butsu. Then I feel great compassion. Gasho to Amida. Nembutsu in work and play. Every day with Amida. Every moment filled with light. I gasho to Amida. Remember the golden chain. Kindness to all living things. I will follow this teaching. I gasho to Amida. Clear, bright morning sun in the fading light of day, in the darkness of the night. I gasho to Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. I live in great compassion. This power guides my life. I gasho to Amida. Namanda Bu. Namanda Bu. Namanda Bu. Namanda Bu. Namanda Bu. Namanda Bu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namandabs, 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 namandabs.
Please rise for the Gatha at our altar. Words can be found on pages 22 and 23 in the New Purple Gatha book. Again, pages 22 and 23.
Each morning I awake to see Amida's face, so good and kind. I think he says, "Good morning, child." He's glad to start the day with me. Each night So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do the first verse one more time again. Okay? Sing a little louder. We've sung this song before, maybe not too often, but let's get kind of used to it. So, Corinne, can you just play the first verse again with the intro? Get ready. Sing loud. Each morning I awake to see Amida's face, so good and kind. I think he says, "Good morning, child." He's glad to start the day with me. Much better. Good job. Good job.
You may be seated. Today's Dharma message will be shared by Miss Linda.
Good morning. Well, it looks like my classroom. Sometimes the kids are on this side, sometimes they're on that side. So sometimes I have to move my little things over on this side so I can talk to them. This morning they're all on this side. Anyway, please join me in Gasho as I read a hymn from the Jodo Wasan. The fundamental intent for which the Buddha appeared in the world was to reveal the truth and reality of the primal vow. He taught that to encounter or behold a Buddha is rare as blossoming of the Udumbara. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. All right. In 2 days, it's April the 8th, and that will mark about over 2,500 years ago when Shakyamuni Buddha was born in Lumbini Garden. And next Sunday, during Hanamatsuri service, we'll be celebrating Buddha's birthday. We will honor this momentous event by pouring sweet tea over the statue. Everybody remember the little Hanamido statue placed in there. And then the Hanamido is a pavilion just decorated with flowers. And these flowers remind us both of the beauty and the impermanence of life, just as we chanted this morning, Kasho to Amida. Flowers bloom and flowers fall. From the seeds sprout new flowers. This is the truth unchanging in Agasho to Amida. So if you look at the flowers, I looked at it this morning and I started picking some out and I left them. But you can see there's some fresh ones, and then there's some that's kind of tilting over. That they're not nice and vibrant all the time. So I kind of left it because I wanted you to see it. But that's the impermanence of life. Everything's changing. It doesn't stay beautiful all the time. So just as the blossoms bloom and fade, so does everything else in existence. The flowers, the gentle rain, is said to have accompanied Buddha's birth, and can also be seen as a symbol of Amida Buddha's boundless compassion, like the rain that falls freely on all beings. Amida's wisdom and compassion embraces us just as we are, beyond our status, beyond morality or effort. The birth of the historical Buddha was a turning point, not just for that community, but for all beings, bringing the light of the Dharma into the world. His birth brought the light of the Dharma into the world. So next Sunday, when you come here, the Hanamida will be here. It's a symbol of Lumbini Garden. It's a symbol of where Buddha was born. Take that moment to reflect on its meaning. Just like the flower needs care to grow, our spiritual life is nurtured by the Dharma. As we pour the sweet tea over the baby Buddha, we're reminded to cherish the Dharma in our own hearts. In that moment, let's pause and appreciate how we are always embraced by Amida's boundless compassion. And as like in the sutra we just chanted this morning, when I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. His voice and my voice are one. So I gasho to Amida. Through the observance of Hanamatsuri, we can deepen our awareness of the Buddha's birth, that the Buddha's birth is not just an historical event, but it's something that's still living. Each time we encounter the Dharma, each time we recite the Nimbutsu, the Buddha's wisdom and compassion are being born anew in our hearts. The Buddha's birth is more than just a moment in history. It represents the awakening of wisdom and compassion in the world filled with suffering. Today we see suffering all around us: war, injustice, poverty, and the struggles of daily life. It can feel overwhelming sometimes, as if peace and understanding are really out of our reach. But the Buddha's birth reminds us that awakening is not some distant or impossible goal. It's not reserved for the saints or the sages. Rather, it's like a light that shines even in the midst of our struggles or delusions, our greed or our anger, and our ignorance. Just as the sun continues to shine behind the clouds, especially when we have fog, we still see the sun is still there. Can't see it, still there. Wisdom and compassion are always present, guiding us through greater awareness and kindness in our everyday lives. But of course, the story of the Buddha's life does not end with his birth. As you've heard many, many times, Prince Siddhartha, who was born a prince and who later became a Buddha, left the comfort of his beautiful palace. Everything he needed was there to search for the truth of suffering. After years and years of seeking, he awakened to the reality of interdependence, the understanding that all things are connected, that nothing exists in isolation. We cannot live all by ourselves. Just as a tree depends on the sun, the rain, and the soil to grow, our lives are shaped by countless causes and conditions, including the kindness and efforts of others. He also realized the truth of impermanence, that everything is constantly changing, just as the seasons shift. The flowers bloom, summer gets warm, in fall, leaves fall, winter, everything gets like dark, nothing, no leaves. Then here comes spring again. It blossoms. Our joys, our sorrows, our very lives are all part of this natural flow of change. So rather than fearing this truth, the Buddha saw it as a key to freedom. He discovered a path beyond suffering, not clinging to what is temporary, but by awakening to the deep wisdom and compassion that arise when we accept life as it truly is. The path is not what we call the Eightfold Path. The Buddha's response, the Eightfold Path is the Buddha's response to suffering. His first teaching after awakening, after enlightenment, was the Four Noble Truths, and everybody's heard that too. Life is suffering, dukkha, or it's actually not suffering, but challenges. Life is challenging. We have hardships. Then our suffering or challenges, not hardships, challenges, maybe hardships too, suffering arises from craving and attachment, our greed, our anger, our ignorance. That makes us suffer. But there is a way beyond suffering. We don't have to suffer all the time. And the way was the Eightfold Path that guides us towards wisdom, compassion, and freedom. That was his first sermon that he ever preached. The Eightfold Path is not a set, rigid rules as we read the Eightfold Path, but it's a guide for living with wisdom, compassion, and awareness. Each of its aspects, right view, right thought, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right meditation helps us to see the interconnectedness and walk a path of awakening in our daily lives. Now, in Jodo Shinshu, we understand the Eightfold Path through the lens of Amida, boundless compassion. Rather than something we must master through self-effort, we recognize that our limited self struggle to walk this path. So if you read the Eightfold Path, you can say, how can I do that? I can't do that. Instead, we awaken to Amida's vow, which naturally nurtures and transforms our lives. So with right view, we realize our own limitation and struggles. So we see that true freedom doesn't come from our own efforts, but from Amida's boundless compassion. Right thought, as we deeply listen to the Dharma, right thought naturally arises. Instead of striving for enlightenment on our own, we learn to trust in Amida's 18th vow. Right speech, expressed in the recitation of the Nembutsu, when we say Namo Amida Butsu, not as a practice to attain something, but as some spontaneous expression of gratitude. Right conduct, living with sincerity and kindness as a natural response to the Dharma, rather than trying to become perfect through our own effort. Right livelihood, in Jodo Shinshu, right livelihood is about showing deep gratitude in our daily lives. Even though we continue to live in this cycle of samsara, we do so with an awareness of Amida's compassion. Amida is always with us. Right effort. It's not about trying harder to fix ourselves or be perfect. Instead, it's about recognizing that we can't do everything on our own. So we need to open our hearts to Amida's help and guidance. Right mindfulness. We reflect deeply on our own flaws, our own greed, our anger, our ignorance, and recognize that the working of Amida's compassion in our lives. Right meditation. Jodo Shinshu, in Jodo Shinshu, meditation or meditative awareness means having a calm and trusting heart, knowing that we can rely on Amida's vow without worry or doubt. A way to visualize the Eightfold Path, we can look to the Dharma wheel. Some of us may wear it in a necklace. We call it the Dharma Chakra. Sometimes they have it in a pin. You can also see it on our altar. See on the lanterns? The wheel, that circle. That's the Buddhist. In the Buddhist tradition, this wheel represents the turning of the Dharma, with its 8 spokes symbolizing the Eightfold Path. Each spoke is one of the paths. Just like the wheel moves a vehicle forward, the Eightfold Path guides us towards deeper insight and compassion, leading us to greater understanding, wisdom, and clarity in our lives. However, in Jodo Shinshu, we don't see this path as something we must perfect through our own effort. Instead, it represents a natural expression of life touched by Amida's boundless compassion. Rather than struggling to turn the wheels ourselves, it's like, there are older people here, so they know what I'm talking about. Driving a car without power steering, kind of hard to turn, making your parking and all that. Now we have power steering. Okay, very easy, just one finger. Pretty soon we might not even have to steer. But we realize that Amida's vow is always already carrying us forward. It's like power steering. It's always moving us forward. There's no effort. Okay? The Eightfold Path is not a set of steps that we have to climb or blocks that we have to walk. It's the unfolding of Amida's wisdom and compassion in our daily lives. So when you see the image of that Dharma wheel, or you see someone wearing the Dharma Chakra, let it be a reminder we are already moving on this path, not because of our own strength, but because we are embraced by Amida's great compassion. Each spoke of the wheel turns not by our effort, but by the working of Amida's 18th vow. And with each turn, we are gently guided towards enlightenment. So rather than viewing the Eightfold Path as a series of steps we must follow to attain enlightenment, let's see it as a natural outcome of placing our trust in Amida's vow. As Shinran Shonin said, we can only do so much in our life, but through Amida's compassion, even ordinary people like us, filled with flaws and desires, are embraced and assured of birth in the Pure Land. So next Sunday, as we celebrate Buddha's birthday, let's also take a moment to reflect on how his teachings continue to guide us, nurture us, and illuminate our lives. And with wisdom and compassion. In closing, let us put our hands together in Gassho and recite the Nembutsu together. Entrusting in the dynamic workings of the all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion, we call the honored name of Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you for your message, Miss Linda. My sister Taylor Nishihara will now lead the unison reading of the Eightfold Path to Happiness. Words can be found on the handouts and on the screen. Please recite the words out loud together with her. The teachings of the Buddha help us to understand the oneness of all life. To lead us in the right direction, the Buddha provides us with the Eightfold Path. Right views, to keep free of all and superstition and to see the true nature of life. Right thoughts, to turn our minds away from violence and hatred. Right speech, to refrain the harmful talk and to use our words wisely. Right conduct, to see that our deeds come from peace and goodwill, to grow every day in the Buddha's teachings. Right livelihood, to try to earn our living in such a way that we avoid causing suffering. Right energy, to use our energies to promote the overcoming of ignorance and destructive desires. Right mindfulness, to cherish a good mind, for all that we think and do has its own roots in its mind. Right meditation, to study the teachings of the Buddha and to practice them to the best of our abilities. May the presence of the Buddha, who said that he would live in his teachings, be our guide. May we follow this path until we too realize nirvana. Thank you. Thank you, Taylor. We will now have the offertory presentation. Mahalo for your generosity, which helps to sustain our temple. Please rise as we conclude this service with the singing of Gatha Nembutsu.
Namo Amida. Namo Namandavs, 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 nam.
You may be seated. This concludes today's service. Here are some announcements. Upcoming schedule of services, events, and reminders. This Saturday, April 12th, is Manju Making Day. The BWA would like to please ask for your kokua if you are available. Manju making starts at 7:30 a.m. Also, Friday, April 11th, there will be making on balls from 5 o'clock p.m. Any assistance will be greatly appreciated. Sunday, April 13th, we will celebrate Buddha's birthday with our Hanamatsuri service at 10 o'clock a.m. The guest speaker will be Dr. John Matsuoka, retired Dean, UH School of Social Work. You may pick up your pre-ordered manju following the service. At 1:30 p.m. that afternoon, there will be a special free film screening of a documentary video produced by Dr. John Matsuoka entitled Nava Hine Buddha Kia Kahi, The Legacy of Hawaiian Buddha Women Buddhists. Please plan to return to the temple and join us for the most interesting video. Dr. Matsuoka will be available for questions and answers following the video. Flowers are needed to decorate the Hanamiro for the Hanamatsuri service. Those of you with flowers in your garden, can you please share them for this service? You may drop them off on Saturday, April 12th by 11 o'clock a.m. Buckets will be placed by the conference room door near the temple bell. There will be no Sunday service on April 20th. Sunday, April 27th, regular Dharma family service will be held at 10 o'clock a.m. Reverend Blaine will share a Dharma message. Sunday, May 4th, we will celebrate Mothers and Children's Day service at 10 o'clock a.m. The guest speaker will be Miss Emmy Hashi, Hawaiian Kyodan Youth Specialist. Any other announcements, Miss Linda or anyone else?
I just want to thank Kendra for doing a good job. Thank you. And next Sunday, please come because Dr. Matsuoka is very good speaker. And when you go into the hall, it's supposed to come on Wednesday, so you will see new curtains. This is what the BWA is raising funds to do things, and one is to put up new curtains in the social hall. So the new curtains should be put up by Wednesday, so you'll see new curtains up there.
I just wanted to extend a very big welcome back to the Shirota family from Seattle, Haru, Mark, and their daughters Misa and Maya. They have come before, and we're very happy to have you every time you come back. Thank you.
Those of you on Zoom, any other announcements? Okay. Those of you on Zoom, you may leave at any time. Those of you here in person, refreshments will be served in the conference room. Mahalo to Aunties Glenda Yamagata Paslekwa and Betty Takioka, and anyone else who brought goodies to share. Your manju making this Saturday and at Hanamitsuri service next Sunday. Please stay healthy and safe. Thank you.